Dawson Network. Hope you're all safe and well. If you indeed, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. I present you today the Hammers headlines in association with KUNB.com. Three stories as always. The first one is actually a sort of not a retraction, but according to rumours, and we'll talk about Craig Dawson, according to rumours, Mr. Ballon Dawson may now be persuaded to remain at the London Stadium past the deadline for January transfers. According to club insiders and several news sources, including Claret and Hugh, Wolves may no longer be a viable choice for him because of their Premier League struggles and recent management change. Obviously, he was very much on his way to Wolves, wasn't he, in the summer? But we couldn't get a replacement for him, so therefore it fell through. And there was sort of a gentleman's agreement that we'd let him go potentially in January. But with both David Moyes and the fan base clearly still very much in love with the 32-year-old centre-back, it does seem to be that he will remain at London Stadium at least until the end of the current campaign. He's still eager to move closer to his family, which is fair enough, up north. But despite having just lost out on that summer transfer, he's been ever the professional, albeit not necessarily to the level that he was last season in terms of playing, but he brings a sort of no-nonsense quality to him, doesn't, which we love. But as it appears, he might have to stay in East London. He might still play into the current season. It's great news potentially for us. I think with the Wolves management change, Lopetegui may not see Craig Dawson's the right man for him. So we'll see. There's obviously lots of clubs up north who might be interested in Mr. Dawson's services, but at the moment it does seem that he may well be staying at London Stadium. Now, despite this information, it appears that West Ham are moving through and are pressing ahead with the acquisition of the Brazilian centre-back Luizao, and is now practically guaranteed to sign with the club during the January transfer window. According to a report from Gol Brazil, the 20-year-old defender is expected to go from Sao Paulo to the Hammers on January the 31st, when his current contract expires with the Brazilian club. Even though he's got no Premier League experience and is a rough diamond, somewhat unpolished, signing on a free would eliminate the risk of a potential deal of spending money on him. In my opinion, he's got determination, aggression. He plays in a manner that's very distinctly South American in terms of his temperament. He's a tough tackler. He, despite being quite of a young age, being 20 years old, he does display leadership within the Sao Paulo side, and it appears he does have all the qualities that could make him a success in England. I mean, I look back at when Fabian Balbuena came into the side, and I thought he was brilliant when he first joined us. Then he sort of went off the wayside somewhat, but a no-nonsense defender, and very much in the ilk potentially of a Craig Dawson. So we'll see. He's undoubtedly someone for the future, and does confirm rumours that Moyes is adamant on returning back to this Red Bull model that he's been speaking about so candidly over the last 2 years. And so that would suggest that particularly not only is our Brazilian scouting mission working, but also he is looking to the future, and very much Luizao is one for the future. And finally, according to reports, West Ham might recruit Sevilla striker Youssef En-Nesyri for a bargain price during the January transfer window. We know he's one of Moyes' long-term ambitions, in the same way that Kurt Zouma was, in the same way that Never Gerd was. So has Youssef En-Nesyri. He's always been on the peripherals in terms of the summer, in terms of transfer targets for various transfer windows. According to a report from Vamos Mi Sevilla, Sevilla made a serious mistake by not offloading the 25-year-old attacker either in the summer or January last year. The report claims that West Ham could now sign him for just 15 million euros or 13 million quid. Sevilla could have got 34 million quid, 40 million euros for him back in last January potentially. He's reportedly eager to sign for West Ham now this winter, and as previously reported, 13 million quid. And at this price point, it appears this could be a very serious possibility. From a statistical standpoint, spending 13 million quid on a striker who can play as well as a up-front striker who can play left and right wing. He's scored 10 goals in 50 international appearances currently. He's scored 57 in 216 league appearances or first team appearances. Doesn't seem like a bad deal, to be honest. I know he wasn't the most exciting player when he came to the London Stadium when they played us in the Europa League, but I could see for 13 million you can get a lot worse. You can get a lot worse. He's got pace, he's got power, he's got adaptability as well. He could play on the left maybe, and then Skarmaka in the middle with Bowen on the right. Who knows? I think it's worth watching that one. And that's it, my friends. Just a few house notices. Tonight, 9 p.m, we've got Matthew Kilgallen, the former West Ham player, talking about his loan spell at West Ham and taking your questions live. That'll be on tonight, 9 p.m, so looking forward to chatting to Matt there. And tomorrow night, Thursday night, after Brazil-Ghana, that's like the warm-up for what is going to be a fun night. It's the Irons Point Food Bank's charity quiz night. We're doing blockbusters. We've got X, WHU employee, we've got Ryan from West Ham Fan TV, and you've got the opportunity to win a signed match worn Lucas Fabiacci shirt if you donate to the food banks. Any donation of £10 enters you into the draw. If you donate 50, you get 5 entries, 100, 10 entries, that type of thing. So keep an eye on that, and if we can help the food banks. And that's it today. Nice, short, sharp. I do apologise for the broom cupboard, but needs must. Anton's in the office, I'm in the office. I had to jump in during my lunch break to record it, but hopefully you brought a few headlines, and I'll speak to you very, very soon. Take care, stay safe, love you, bye bye.